This boy entered the school with a gun, but ended up being disarmed by his teacher and receiving a hug. You could say he was very lucky, since other shooters fared very badly in schools, such as Aaron Ybarra, who was subdued in a far less affectionate way. Aaron Ray Ybarra was born in 1987 and grew up in the suburb of Mount Lake Terrace in Washington. From an early age, he faced difficulties adjusting socially. Homeschooled, Aaron had little contact with other children and never developed strong social bonds. That loneliness would be only the beginning of a series of deeper problems. During adolescence, he was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder and transient psychosis. His erratic behavior worried the family, who took him to seek medical help in 2010, but the treatments did not seem to have the desired effect. He faced a battle against depression and carried a growing hatred for himself and for the world. The situation worsened when he began drinking excessively in his youth. Many times these occasions involved his father, who also struggled with addictions and a troubled history with the law. Alcohol, instead of easing Aaron's symptoms, only aggravated his emotional instability. While most people find relief by venting to friends or family, Aaron found solace in a diary where he wrote down his darkest thoughts. In his words, he expressed hatred for humanity and detailed violent plans. Those writings revealed the disturbed mind of someone who saw no way out of his pain other than taking it out on others. Aaron chose Seattle Pacific University as the target of his attack because of its proximity and ease of access. He visited the campus a few times before the attack, studying the place and planning every move. He planned to take his own life after committing a massacre. On the afternoon of June 5, 2014, Aaron arrived at the university dressed casually, carrying a shotgun and enough ammunition to cause destruction. He looked like just another visitor, but what happened next changed forever the lives of those who were on that campus. Aaron began the attack near the entrance to the Otto Miller Hall building. His first victim was Paul Lee, a 19-year-old student. Paul was unarmed and had no chance to escape. Aaron then moved through the building, shooting Sarah Williams, another student who was seriously wounded. John Mice, 22 years old, an engineering student and campus monitor, was working in his daily routine when he heard the shots. Without thinking twice, he armed himself with the only resource he had at hand, a can of pepper spray. While Aaron reloaded the shotgun, John seized the moment to immobilize him. He disarmed him and threw him to the ground, preventing him from continuing his attack. Other students joined John, helping to keep him pinned until the police arrived. The campus went into lockdown while authorities secured the area. John's act was celebrated as heroic, as it not only saved lives but also prevented the tragedy from becoming even greater. After being detained, Aaron confessed his crimes and showed no remorse. He was sentenced to 112 years in prison, a sentence that showed the gravity of his acts and the devastating impact he caused on the community. During the trial, his lawyers highlighted the mental problems he had faced since childhood. Nevertheless, the court considered that Aaron's actions were the result of deliberate choices, even in the face of his conditions. John Mice's courage was widely recognized. He not only received tributes, but also became a true hero of Seattle Pacific University. Devin Erickson was born on September 21st of 2000 in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, in a community that, on the surface, seemed quiet and safe. He was described by his classmates as a quiet boy, with a peculiar taste for music and art. Devin liked to paint and had a special talent for playing guitar. However, behind that calm appearance, there was a mind in conflict. During high school, he began to show worrying behaviors, such as social isolation and fits of anger. Friends and acquaintances reported that Devin faced difficulties at home and seemed increasingly frustrated with the world around him. Alec McKinney, his accomplice, also came from a difficult path. He faced challenges of acceptance regarding his identity and carried resentments against schoolmates. Alec found in Devin a kind of ally, and together they began to plan the attack that would change their lives and those of many others forever. On the morning of the attack, on May 7th of 2019, Devin seemed different. According to a friend, he was optimistic, almost light, in contrast with the withdrawn behavior of previous weeks. But what seemed like a positive change hid something sinister. Devin already knew what would happen that day. The plan began to take shape at noon. Armed with pistols hidden in a backpack and a guitar case, Devin and Alec prepared for the massacre. While Devin texted Alec on his cell phone, the two discussed the final details. Shortly before the attack, Devin went by the school infirmary claiming to feel ill. That brief moment separated the two shooters, creating an unexpected pause. But soon after, they reunited. Devin sealed one of the doors of the classroom where everything would begin. At around 1:53 in the afternoon, the attack began. Devin, standing in front of the class, opened the guitar case and revealed a gun. He shouted for no one to move, leading the attack. Alec, on the other side of the room, began firing with a revolver. Chaos took over. Students hid under desks, while others tried to escape. Kendrick Castillo was known for being a kind young man, always willing to help. An only child of a family of Hispanic origin, he loved robotics and technology, dreaming of pursuing a career in engineering. On the day of the attack, Kendrick was 18 years old and was sitting with his friends when Devin began to fire. Without hesitation, he stood up and ran toward the shooter, trying to disarm him. That heroic act cost Kendrick his life, but it gave time for other students to react. Erickson fired 4 times before his gun failed, fatally hitting Kendrick and wounding 2 other students. Joshua Jones, an 18-year-old young man, was near Kendrick at the time of the attack. He decided to help his friend and confronted Devin while they disarmed him. Although he was hit during the struggle, Joshua managed to survive. Brendan Bialy, another 18-year-old student, was a member of the United States Marine Corps and had already been trained to deal with high-risk situations. He used his skills to immobilize Devin, preventing him from continuing to fire. Meanwhile, on the other side of the room, Alec McKinney was using a Taurus revolver, firing 9 shots and wounding 4 students before being restrained by other students. After a struggle near the classroom door, McKinney was subdued by other students and the teacher, who managed to push him out of the room. Amid the turmoil, McKinney managed to escape for moments, but he was prevented from returning to the room when the doors were locked from the inside. Outside the room, McKinney was confronted by a school security guard who detained him without major problems since he had lost his weapon. No police officer was hit by the shooters, however. One of the agents responding to the emergency call mistook an armed colleague for one of the assailants and opened fire. The friendly fire incident became one more episode of the chaos that afternoon. Brendan was widely recognized for his bravery and stated that he only did what he felt was right at that moment. The 3 young men, in a joint action, prevented the attack from becoming a far greater tragedy. After the attack, Devin Erickson was arrested and brought to trial. Among the evidence presented were recordings of calls he made from jail. In one of them, Devin spoke with his girlfriend, laughing and calling himself the boyfriend who shot up the school. Those words shocked the public and served as evidence against his claim that he had been manipulated by Alec. Other recordings revealed that Devin knew of a list of targets, but he claimed the names were Alec's, reinforcing the narrative that he did not want to participate in the attack. Devin claimed he had been coerced and that he used illicit substances at the time. Alec, on the other hand, stated that Devin was fully aware and was an active participant. The court was not convinced of Erickson's innocence. During questioning, he revealed that he had resentments against schoolmates and that the attack was motivated by years of accumulated frustrations. He was convicted of first-degree murder and dozens of other charges. The sentence was definitive: life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Alec McKinney was tried separately due to his age, receiving a sentence of 65 years. After the incident, Joshua Jones faced a long journey of physical and emotional recovery. In interviews given the following year after the attack, Jones shared the challenges he faced in dealing with the trauma. With the support of friends, faith, and therapy, he found strength to move forward. Jones revealed that the experience inspired him to pursue a career as an emergency medical technician, wishing to offer support to people at critical moments in their lives. Brendan Bialy, who played a crucial role in disarming the shooter, chose to pursue a military career after the incident. Shortly after graduation, he joined the United States Marine Corps. His decision showed an ongoing commitment to protection and service to the nation, demonstrating that his courage was not limited to the day of the attack. Angel was born and raised in Portland, where he faced problems that many young people encounter: anxiety and feelings of isolation. He attended Park Rose High School, where he tried to deal with the pressures of youth and with mental health issues that did not receive the necessary attention. Over the years, Angel began to show signs of emotional suffering. Friends and acquaintances reported that he seemed more reserved and lost in his thoughts. Even so, few suspected that he could reach the point of taking such an extreme step. Angel's mental health was affected over the years, aggravated by a series of personal challenges. He struggled with destructive thoughts and dependence on illicit substances, trying to cope with feelings of abandonment and loneliness. Even so, Angel followed his school routine and was seen by classmates as a reserved person, almost invisible. Few knew of the storm that was forming inside him. On the morning of May 17, 2019, Angel decided to take a shotgun to school. That Friday seemed like any other at Park Rose High School. Students went to their classes, and the sound of conversations and laughter echoed through the hallways. Angel arrived with a clear objective: to commit an unthinkable act against himself in a public place. He believed that by doing it at school, his family would be spared the suffering of finding him at home. The plan, though desperate, did not include hurting anyone. Keenan Lowe, a football coach and former player at the University of Oregon, was an inspiring figure at the school. That day, by a twist of fate, he came upon Angel holding the weapon moments before a tragedy could happen. In a fraction of a second, he approached calmly and disarmed Angel with firmness. After that, Keenan hugged him. He spoke with the young man, trying to calm him and show that someone cared about him. The scene, captured by security cameras, showed a moment of humanity that moved the whole world. Meanwhile, the school went into an alert state. Teachers and students locked themselves in rooms, awaiting news about what was happening. Outside, sirens could be heard as the police arrived on the scene. Angel was arrested shortly after the incident. During the trial, it became clear that he had no intention of hurting other people. He pleaded guilty to possessing a weapon in a public place and was sentenced to 36 months of probation. As part of the sentence, Angel was required to participate in mental health treatment programs and to address his dependence on illicit substances. Keenan, in turn, became a symbol of compassion and courage. In his autobiography, Hometown Victory, he described the moment as a lesson about the importance of seeing the pain behind people's actions. He said he saw in Angel a lost young man who needed help, so he did not hesitate to give it. Do not forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.